Welcome to Project Fast Fish here on Mike's Motorworks, and today we're taking on a little bit of patchwork. It all happens right now here on Project Fast Fish. Oh hey, that roof is missing. So if this is your first time watching or you haven't watched a show in a while, I highly encourage you to go back and watch what's been going on with the last couple episodes on Project Fast Fish. And the reason being is we launched season 2, with season 1 being the story of the project and the engine build to help raise funds. Now, right now, as things stand, we're in the midst of ripping out the floor panel. We got that taken care of, and now we're prepping the metal for future rust prevention, okay? In other words, that we've already knocked off the rust. We've got some basics done for rust prevention, and now we got to take things a step further. But before we go any further, we have a little bit of patchwork to take care of, and that is right over here. This is our culprit. Alrighty, and as you can see there, a little bit of a hole has developed there. Now, why has that hole developed there? Well, one, this is a wet area. You know, the door goes right here, and of course you got the wet area back here. But more specifically, when this vehicle was given to me, we had it sandblasted, or at least we waited for a little bit and then had it sandblasted. And the sand kind of just sat inside the vehicle, and as you can see, there's a lot of corrosion and a lot of debris up in there, which more than likely promoted that rust to form and push some of that metal away and out. In fact, if you look over this way, you can kind of see here where those effects are clearly seen. Now, to help orient ourselves here, we're on the driver's side. This is the inside of the vehicle. That's the outside of the vehicle. This is the upper rocker or the outer rocker. There's an outer rocker panel, which is right here, and of course the inner rocker panel, which is right here. And of course this goes up to the cowl, which is just on the firewall, or just on the other side of the firewall here. Okay, this goes up to the cowl. The firewall's right there. Alrighty. And this is where the doors themselves are hinged on. So the door hinges will be placed here on the vehicle. Now, clearly outside here, there's a lot of good things going on, all the way till you get to the bottom here. So there are 3 areas of concern here. Area of concern number 1, if you're looking on the outside, so we're just going to look from the outside in, if you will. I have an area of concern right here. There's a little bit of rust and decay right in this area, okay? Then second area of concern is sandwiched between this area here and this area over here, which is on this panel, which is actually a structural panel to kind of hold the door frame and the door structure together, which kind of cages this part of the unibody structure in this area, right? And right in there, you can kind of see down to the rocker panel itself. So this will have to be changed out. And of course, this really isn't an area of concern here, but it will need to be removed in order to access this area right here. All right, so how are we going to do this, and how are we going to make this happen? Well, there's a couple of patches that need to be made. I'm pretty confident we can make an easy patch of this right down here, right? We'll get a shrinker and stretcher, and we'll be able to bend this out, cut this out, and weld in a new piece there. No big deal. Over here, what we're going to have to do is we're actually going to have to cut this panel out, okay, to about here, cut this piece of metal out, and then look to see what the condition is of the upper rocker panel. This is the upper rocker panel right here that goes this way, right? And see what that condition is. I can kind of sort of see in there, which is a good thing. It looks pretty good. So it looks like we just got some minimal rust and such to take care of. And go ahead and put this back together. In other words, we'll need some piece or form a new piece of metal that goes into this area here. So it's just some small patchwork. All right. So we'll have to cut here, reform a piece for this, and then reform this area here. All righty. So let's see what that looks like. There's a little bit of background noise, and I'm running a fan because it's a little bit warm here today. I do live in North Florida, and We've been approaching the 90s and the 80s, so it gets a little bit warm in the garage here. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and remove the spot welds that we need to remove so that we can easily pull this this little portion out right here. Now I know it's gonna be kind of, with the lighting, I got the light over here, it's gonna be what it is here. All right, so for those who are new to this, all right, pinch welds are what they use from the factory, and they got a machine that goes in and it basically shoots a bolt of electricity between and seaming up two different areas, right, to kind of weld them together. And it's a quick, fast-paced process that just shoots a little bit of electricity, heats it up, and attaches the two pieces of metal. Now, if you don't break them properly, they can be a bugger to work out, right? So there's a proper way to do this, and what you need are two different things, all right? You need a metal punch, like this in my hand, and of course, you need a hammer, and then you also need a spot weld cutting bit or a spot weld cutter like I have right here. This one's from Blair. It's very highly rated, and I've had nothing but great success with this, right? And essentially what you're doing is you are popping that heated area out so that you could easily remove or pull back the metal, okay? So it works kind of like this, alrighty? I'm gonna go ahead and pop all of those spot welds that I can see. Now you can clearly see the spot welds here, 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 and here. All right, this is just a hole here, okay? This is like a drain hole type dealie. All right, looks like it's already got some weld or something going on in there. I'm not sure where that's from. I can't remember if I put that there or if that's just some seam sealer. It might be some seam sealer and such. So I'm gonna put this guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. All right, so here it goes. Again, the lighting is a little awful. I apologize for that, but we're gonna give this a good whack. All righty. And we're going to do the same on all of these. And that'll give that center of that bit something to bite into. Because we don't want that thing drifting on us. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn this drill down to the lower high torque setting because it's easy to over drill these and get these through more than what you want to get through, all right? Because objectively, I just want to get enough of this metal out right here where when I pry back on it, maybe with the chisel or what have you, it easily pops out. Now I'm going to cut it here in a few minutes, but we'll get to that when we get there. So each one of these now has a hole on there, so I'm going to go ahead and take my drill. All right, gently set it aside, make sure I'm not drifting. The car moved on me a little bit. And it's okay to work the drill a little bit if you have to move it side to side, up to down, what have you. And after you've done it a couple times, it becomes second nature. And it looks like I'm almost through with that one. Let's go a little bit more from this side and I should be through. All right, that should be good. We'll do the next one. Oop, drifting. Yeah, you don't want to get too deep there. All right, that looks sufficient. Hey, Johnny. And this guy right here. This one presents a unique challenge because it's right there on the top of the metal. So you gotta be really careful it doesn't drift too far on us or pull away. That should be good. And one more. We'll just get this guy right in the center. Again, I apologize for the light. Nope. Nope, gotta pop that one again. Alrighty, and not quite through on that one. We're gonna turn the speed up here. So we don't want to get the air hammer and chisel on that yet.